observation. You could observe from one of the villages as far as this, the beneficiary impact of NRE.
And the women, the sociological aspects, and the traditional role that pervades in the rural sector, pervades this women hope to come out and explore the opportunities of getting that employment. And thirdly, wherever the lady circles are there, they are just the rubber stamp, and the husbands have been working for them and speaking about the work that has been done, and they're just about they're just working for them as the rubber stamp and cannot provide as much as the leadership grow in these rural activities and the rural programs. Then they cannot come out into the public poster and everything. So that opportunities should be provided to them through the training programs and everything which is provided in the NREGA standard.
Okay. Now what you are understanding one thing is that there is a gap of the awareness among the beneficiaries. If we ask Mr. Kishore, how do you feel out of your experience? What are the loopholes, what are the strengths you observe in this
stage? But this act says beyond that, how to check corruption, how to ensure transparency and accountability, and for that it has provided ample scope and platform to deal with that. And fortunately, I was part of a process of conducting or facilitating 40 social audits across 19 districts, and I would say that there is of course scope for checking corruption by proper implementing NREGA.
And especially for below poverty line people, in fact, above poverty line people also can have job cards and work under the scheme. It is in fact open to those who volunteer to do on-scheme manual work. The question you put is that how the persons who hold job cards and the persons who really work, is there any difference? Yes, there are some differences in the initial days. Even now also differences is being reported, but the number of reports are coming down. Initially what happened? Actually, this type of concept was totally new to the entire country, that people would be having job cards and they would demand for work and all those things. Earlier what was being done? The work was used to start and people come and they work and then they get paid after 10-15 days. There was no job card like those things. But now that job card concept was made mandatory in the initial years, because of that momentum of that earlier inertia, people used to come without job card. So they were engaged in the work, but their payment was routed through somebody else's job card. So you may find that in suppose we do have work. Like as I said that in the initial days if somebody else has worked in somebody else's job card, so this type of allegation will come. She might not have first lady might not have worked at all, but somebody else's payment might have been routed through a job card. But these type of irregularities are not many nowadays. In the initial 2006-11 it was in Gallo, but now this type of instances are common. That is number one. Number two, awareness level as is very low, because it's very difficult to make people aware of the provisions of the Act. Gradually people are, because of the social audit and other things, awareness is spreading. But I still have a concern that all these procedures is very difficult to take it to the mind of the people that they need to apply for work and all those things. In 99, about more than 99% of cases, people are not applying for work.
Given your experience and the legal companies which you are about to analyze, what are the major intervention areas you see for the future success of this project?
Perspective, I see it still as individualistic, this implementation of NREGA. Now, Mr. Sashok Mishra is around, what after today? That is a big question. That means NREGA has not gone into the system. That is my point. There are good officials, good at the district level, at the state level, but this is this is not universal as such. So that is the biggest question at this point of time. Personally, I feel that is that is there, but initially there were shortages of staff, and now more than 80,000 Gram Sati has been appointed, and there are Gram Puri.
Couple of questions.
What about the schemes coming like IRDP, midday meals, or poverty alleviation? They are end up with somewhere in that we are not getting the full potential of these programs. We are like that you have told that corruption. We are ending up with corruption. So what do you think that sir is the poverty, rural poverty is somewhat lacking in implementing these programs, sir, when we are ending up with these failures. So what should be the link?
When we devise a scheme, there are certain inbuilt limitations or mistakes that leads into the scheme, which also leads to its failure. There are some examples. I wish I could have spent more time to elaborate on that. But at the same time, I must also tell with full authority and conviction that all is not that bad as the negligence aspect of that. Maybe 15, 20, even 30% irregularities, leakage, misappropriation, etc. is technical. That is a fact. But we should not, that should not gloss over the fact that the remaining 70-80% money is really going to the expenditure. How could one state recover 500 crore? This is absolutely incorrect. This is only to make sensational news and nothing else. And after that, Government of India asked the CAG to conduct a performance audit in all the states. CAG came up with those type of findings for Odisha. They are also there in other states. CAG report is as good or as bad in That was centrally sponsored schemes. That means part of the fund is not by Government of India, part of the fund is not by the state government. So NREGA is the scheme, which is a centrally sponsored scheme. Almost 90% of the fund is given by Government of India, about 10% is given by the states. So naturally, if you give 10 rupees to your son, so naturally you ask him how to spend it and how not to spend it. So it is very natural that the Government of India would give all these guidelines, rules, etc. But practically when it comes to implementation, I don't feel that it is the Government of India is
not accountable. Start. Here are the records.
What report?
Yes, sir. Can you write?
Like the NRG is a different program than other programs, and the program is that here PRIs are more important. But in the whole talk, we find that the PRIs have never come in the picture. So can you throw a light into why this is happening? The accountability part, which you are talking that bureaucracy is not accountable. Maybe there are any reasons, but why the accountability is not coming to the low to top? Is why it's always to top to bottom. Can you explain?
If one person is accountable, it's a bureaucrat. In a Gram Panchayat, there are Panchayat Samiti chairpersons instituted against a government officer. Very rarely criminal proceedings are instituted against sarpanches or Panchayat Samiti chairperson. Rather, bureaucrats are more accountable. Their promotion, their continuation in the service are at stake if they do some mistake. The second aspect is why PRIs are not involved to the extent it is desirable.
The panelists who are coming from outside. Today is Odisha Park. Despite that, they have come here, and we are thankful to both Mr. Shaswat Mishra and Mr. Rajkumar Mishra for their time and their insights into the implementation and the problems faced by the field level functionaries as well as the PRIs in implementing this scheme. We thank both of them. And of course, I should take this opportunity to thank Professor Sundaresan for moderating this session in such a nice manner that we could complete an entire process within 1 hour's time. I thank my other colleagues, Professor Meenakshi and Mr. Neeraj Bira, for sharing their experience of evaluating the NREGAs in different parts of Odisha. So I thank Professor our Devasyanji and his support staff for all the support extended to conduct this